to be there and baby dance the night away. I let my head down if I won. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, so much better. I don't fit into your box. Beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better. I dare you to be wild.
Do you clean differently in the spring than you do all year round? If you do, and you do some extra deep cleaning during this time, then you'll enjoy today's video. If you're here for daily motivation, then trust me, there's always something that needs to get done, even if it's not deep cleaning. But where do you even begin when there is so much to do? Today, I started off in one of my least favorite areas to clean, which is the bathroom. In fact, I'll be cleaning all 3 bathrooms in our home just to get it over with. Well, this is a lovely addition to my decorations. Next, I'll move on to the kitchen area, do some basic cleaning here. I'll focus a lot more on the deep cleaning next week. And then I'm gonna move over to my laundry room. Last year, I had redone the entire laundry room and it's gotten a bit cluttered and unorganized since then. So I'm going to clean it, go through it, and try to get it organized again. And because we are moving, I plan to continue to declutter, this time in the bathroom cabinets, and also pack up a bit in the laundry room. But let's not waste any more time and get started.
For a while, I would have told you I miss your smile. I thought of you as a friend who can't let go, but when you left I could feel it grow, like a body of water, seeping through the edges of my soul.
So it's been about a year since we remodeled our whole primary bathroom. I am trying to wipe this off of the granite, but I'm not sure if it is part of the granite or if it was stained. I started looking around and I was like, maybe that spot was just part of the granite already. But anyway, whenever we remodeled our whole primary bathroom, I saw a picture on Instagram and basically wanted to do the same flooring. And when I found the same tile, they were called basket weave tiles, I didn't realize it was marble, but I guess I didn't care at the time. But I also didn't realize how high maintenance marble was. Marble has to be resealed quite often, and although everything still looks good, I am seeing some spots where it stains easily with like either water stain, or sometimes I use purple shampoo. And if you're blonde, you understand this. If you have like certain types of purple shampoo, it helps keep your blonde color basically blonder. So that will stain the walls lightly in some spots. So I don't know if I would say that I regret putting marble in the bathroom, because it's just so timeless and beautiful, but I wish it wasn't so much of an upkeep. And we do have to use special cleaning products. You can't use anything acidic like vinegar or anything like that. It's just high maintenance. So if you are rethinking about remodeling with marble, just keep that in mind. If I could go back, I might choose a different floor, and then I would be fine keeping the walls marble. I don't know. It just depends. So here I'm going through some of my hair products, and I'm going to try and get rid of the ones that I don't use often. I have a lot of curling irons, and what's funny is that I've had this straightener for a while, but I hardly ever use a straightener. Last time I used it, I thought that it caught fire, so I turned it on real quick, and y'all, that is like a fire spark. And I was like, oh my gosh, if you can see, it's smoking through there. And I just turned it on for a split second. So just be careful with your straighteners. So I do not know what happened there, if some of the electrical got messed up or something, but I ended up throwing that straightener away. And I'm probably the only person who doesn't own a straightener anymore, or use one. I would just blow dry my hair straight, or have it in a ponytail all the time. But now I'm going to put my stuff back. The main thing I wanted to do was clear off the stuff on my counters, make sure it can fit underneath my drawers, have everything in my drawers organized so that whenever I pack, I can just pick it up, put it in a box, and then move on. But here's a granite cleaner that I've been using. It's good for granite and stone. I also like using the Method granite cleaner, but I already had this one. So since I don't film our primary bathroom that much, I just wanted to, and I'm cleaning the mirror, I wanted to say that our lights and the trim around our mirror, since we decided to go with gold, it is very difficult to match exact gold colors unless you're like buying everything from the same brand. So when I initially made the decision to go gold, actually, in fact, we bought everything in black, and then I returned it because I wanted it gold. You find that not every brand makes everything that you need. So I bought a new like shower head but then the shower head and shower nozzle company didn't make the drain, right? So it was like you started having to go with different brands, and then you started having to mix and match the gold. So whenever we bought the light fixtures, we spray painted them so that it would all look like a very similar gold and not, one that's too bronzy or whatever. Now in the bathroom, I wish that I didn't do that. So this light is not spray painted, but the lights above the mirrors are. And even though they're high away from the water, there's still kind of moisture, and I feel like you can see some spot stains on there. So I kind of wish that I did not spray paint them. But moving on to the toilets, I do like this Method toilet cleaner.
You were my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. How it's gonna stay in the fight with you. Just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you. You and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep. In your worn out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever. Driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in too deep. Cause I'm thinking we'll be young, be young, be young. Cause I'm thinking we'll be young forever. Cause I'm thinking we'll be young, be young, be young. Cause I'm thinking we'll be. Where did it begin? Where did it end? Hanging on loose strings, unable to bend. I never listened, trying to prove it.
So this little shoe rack bench is actually full of dog hair. I know that's gross, but I mean, what do? You can't just tell your dog to stop shedding. So I just fail to clean it as often as I should. Our dog used to have a bed in here because she used to be scared of thunder and she would hide in here, and then I ended up taking all of that out. But I don't know, the hair just magically appears somehow. If you are a pet owner, you may understand a bit. But also, I'm using the Tinco cordless vacuum, and then I can just change the attachments and make it a handheld one. I have an Amazon box there because our cable and internet boxes are in our closet and they're like hanging down. Chris had them like on the wall, but they were falling, so I just put a box there to hold them up. So that's why that was there. And just adding, we had to put them there because that's where all of the wiring is throughout the house. For now, this is about as organized as I can get with what I have. And there's a bug in that candle. But this is our second bath. This is also the guest bath. And what I'm basically doing is trying to go through all of the cabinets and get them as cleared out as possible so that it's easier to pack. And luckily, I don't have a lot of stuff in this bathroom or the upstairs bath. Now, one thing that you may have noticed is that the shower curtains, they're not actually shower curtains here, and I don't have like the shower liner because nobody uses this bath. In fact, nobody uses the bath upstairs either. Everyone uses our bath. So instead of using shower curtains for decor purposes, I use actual curtains. And I learned about this in going through one of the model homes. I was like, how did you find shower curtains that were that tall? Because they would put them all the way up and it just made smaller bathrooms look elongated and a lot bigger. And they were like, well, these are real curtains. We don't use shower curtains. But if you need to shower in it, just add your liner. So ever since then, I use real curtains instead of shower curtains.
You said that you needed me like a cargo, you will carry me. I just hope you know my depth, even though it makes no sense. Sometimes I'm broken, too much of emotions. Sometimes I'm the lightning, don't wanna pick a fight with. Everything seems so good. I guess I can't help myself. Would you call me if I'm in the dark? I'm calling up 'cause I'm right under the stars. Would you run on me leaving this mark? But baby, I'm the one who's breaking hearts, one who's breaking it.
So next I'm moving on to the third bathroom upstairs, which we hardly ever use. So it's pretty empty. And then I'm moving downstairs to clean the kitchen and whatnot. But I saw someone do this on Instagram and I wanted to try it here. So if you are currently under 40 years old, I want you to ask a question in the comments. And if you are over 40 years old, I want you to help answer that question. So for example, I'm going to ask, what is your best advice for raising teenagers? And then anyone who either has a teenager or is above 40 is able to answer that question. So basically, it's like, I'm not there yet with teenagers, but I want all the advice that you can give me. So either in the next video or the next video, I'll share some of y'all's questions and answers if I get enough. But my question was serious, so you can go ahead and start by helping me answer that question below. Best advice for raising teenagers. Now, I'm trying to hang up this curtain rod, and it is super heavy. Again, these are real curtains, so they can go almost all the way up to the wall, and I can't get them right. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this whole thing down, pack it away, and then when people come and look at the house, I just won't have any curtains there.
Of emotions, sometimes I'm the light, don't wanna pick a fight with it. Everything seems so good. I guess I can't help myself. Would you call on me if I'm in the dark? I'm calling up 'cause I'm right under the stars. Would you run on me leaving this bar?
Now, one little bit of advice that has been on my mind that I wish I knew earlier. Well, there's actually a lot of things, but okay, in fact, I'm just going to share 3 things that have changed my life over the past couple of years that I wish that I would have known when I was younger. The first one was the way that I felt about failure. I would correlate failure to not being good enough. So I failed at a test, that means I'm just not smart enough. I failed at a relationship, that means I'm not good enough or worthy of being loved. If I failed at a job, then it makes me dumb. And over time, you just start saying, well, what's the point? I've already tried. I've already failed. It's not going to work. I've already failed at this diet. I've already failed in this class. But what I wish I would have known earlier was that instead of stopping, I will have gone into the next opportunity even stronger. Meaning that if I failed in a relationship, then I now know what not to look for in a relationship so I can go into the next one stronger instead of thinking, what's the point of even trying? Being a little older, I can go back and look at all of the times where I have quote unquote failed and see the new opportunity and direction that it's led me to. So instead of the times where I just gave up and threw in the towel, I wish I would have went in with a new perspective. The second thing that I wish I would have known earlier and have done earlier was not only negative self-talk about myself, but negative self-talk about others. I feel like nowadays the media has almost gotten us obsessed with gossip and drama and all of these reality shows, the blind, Love is Blind and Housewives and all of these shows. When I started eliminating gossip and talking about others, it has made my life so much more positive. Now, I am no perfect person, but oftentimes we talk about other people negatively so that it makes us feel better about ourselves. I heard in a podcast, when you're doing this whole self-development and discovering yourself and realizing that talking bad about others is not serving of you at all, they said if somebody else, you're around gossip and people are, talking bad about this person, try to say one positive thing about them. And it's certainly hard to do, especially if you have some sort of disagreement with that person. But I promise when you can remove yourself from that drama, you have just lifted a weight off your shoulders. Now, I don't actively wake up all happy-go-lucky every morning. I have to actively work to be a positive person on a daily basis. But this is one of the best tools that has helped me feel good and stay positive. The last words of advice for being the 36 years I am that I would have given my younger self is to practice your faith a lot sooner in life. So I grew up Christian. I believed in God, but then as I got older and I started thinking like so much more logical, I really started to question my faith. I stopped going to church, and I wouldn't say that my life was like terrible or anything, but last year I had a lot of decisions and stress and heaviness and past triggers and uncertainty, a lot of it because I was stepping out of my comfort zone. In the last couple of years, I've stepped out of my comfort zone a lot. It's paid a big price, but it's also brought in a lot of, anxious feelings. And one day last year, I was just overwhelmed and crying. And I just said, God, if you're real, then show me. And I'm a big podcast listener, and I have, a set of podcasters that I listen to. Some I don't as often. And the very next day, this podcast popped up, and it was like, how to see a miracle. It was something like totally, I don't know what it was about. And it was from someone who I follow, but I hadn't really been listening to that person a whole lot. And they're all like businessy podcasts and, how to self-development and business. So I was like, okay, I'm going to click on this podcast while I'm working out and listen to it. And in that podcast, he said almost like these direct words, like, if you question your faith, then I've created a podcast for you. And it was just like so super random because this podcast was not about religion whatsoever. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was from Rory Vaden, and he created a podcast called Eternal Life. And it is the 7 questions every skeptic should ask about Jesus. And I'll link it below. And this was like a new podcast he created. It wasn't the business podcast I was listening to. And it completely changed the way that I thought about everything, and ultimately was my sign. I think sometimes we get caught up in that we ask God for $1 million and we're mad it's not there, or we ask him for this and that and it wasn't given to us, or we don't understand the circumstances that are happening. And since then, there's been so many more signs, so much goodness, and such a new perspective. And we screw up all the time and bad things happen, but there's so many answers. There's so many answers. My life has changed and is changing so much, and I wish that I would have done this so much sooner. But anyway, those are my 3 tips or things that I wish I would have known and done at an earlier age.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. You can ride all the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you.
So I'm using the Tenco wet dry vacuum, meaning that it vacuums and mops the floors at the same time. They have all different models depending on, price ranging. And then there are several different brands of wet vacs out there as well. This is a lot easier for me than having a bucket and a mop. And you probably saw me vacuuming earlier. So sometimes when I get the vacuum out just to vacuum the rugs, I'll just go through the floors as well, because whenever you clean the empty canister, there'll be like less stuff that it picks up whenever I'm cleaning it.
Met before, it's the same as always, waiting at the airport with your coat and gloves, same time every winter, smiling like you knew me.
So I'm going to finish up in the laundry room. I think it's been about 2 years since we've remodeled the laundry room, and it's one of my favorite small spaces. Since I'm trying to get this house to look like it's not lived in, basically, I am going to go through and try to pack away some of that stuff on the top shelf, and then get some laundry going, and then try and deep clean this space.
Time is standing still when you lift your suitcase, turn around and say bye. I would be a fool not to ask you gently if you stay forever. And now all my emotions are searching for you in places we've never been. Now I'm starting to realize the chance I've been given, but I am so afraid.
So this is what the bottom of our laundry baskets look like. It's full of dirt and not mud, but dirt. So I'm going to clean out with the little handheld. This is the handheld Eureka vacuum. I'm going to clean the bottom of each of the little sections. So in our backyard, we built a huge sandbox for the kids to play in. So a lot of their clothes, if they go out and play in the sandbox and then come and throw their clothes, gets just a ton of sand on there. So this is all a mixture of dirt and sand. But whenever we did do the video, some people said to let them know if I regretted having a sandbox in the backyard. And although we do get a lot of sand in the house, I don't regret it, because it keeps them entertained for a long period of time. It's like having their own beach in the backyard without the water.
Walking home late at night, maybe 2:30. A little drunk, but I'm alright, 'cause I've been hanging with you, and it feels like love. Tell me if I'm wrong, 'cause it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. Yeah. want you here with me. Am I out of my mind? Or is this how it should be? You made me sing about love. So just tell me if I'm wrong. But it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like.
So we have a ridiculous amount of light bulbs, and that is what is in those baskets. Now I've changed out almost every single light in the house from the warm white color, which is more of a yellowish tone. I think it's the warm white. To the cooler white, which is more of a brighter, whiter tone. So we've switched out a lot of the bulbs in our houses, and then they're still good. They're just, some of them are not the color that I want. But we always have a bunch of extra bulbs in case we need them. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll have some more spring deep cleaning next week. And if you haven't yet subscribed, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But have a great week, and I'll see y'all next Thursday.